Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So Fundamental Friday, we are breaking down two stocks I just didn't think I would ever be doing on here, but by request, we're doing it. So it's going to be AMC and GME, GameStop. Which one am I bringing up first?
It doesn't matter.
I thought you were saying to bring something up.
I call out who requested it real quick.
Oh, do we have that?
Yeah, I put that in the chat.
Okay. This is here we go. So if you have any questions on why I broke this down, GME or AMC. So for those that do engage, we're just taking the comments are the request line. So
and we have a backlog, but we'll get to it eventually.
Yes. But as fundamental analysis goes, this is numbers on a clipboard. This is not changing day to day.
Yeah.
So GameStop first. Right now, at the time of us pulling this, it was 22.42. So break this one down.
So I pulled these about a week ago when I saw the comment. So the price doesn't really match, but that's not the important part. It's the fundamental financials that we're looking at anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say. This is pretty much garbage. Gross revenue is just in the tank, and you can see by the graphs that it is just declining every year and has been for a long time. They had one little blip of a green year where it got a little bit better, but overall numbers it was just because the previous year was so low. So why does this matter? If you're looking to as an investment, you want your money to grow, not decline. So gross revenue, not doing much. Gross profit, declining. It's just not there.
Yeah. Is there anything to even look at on here other than they're all just pointing down?
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's getting negative scoring. So it's just terrible. Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot to cover on this one. It's just garbage, like I said.
Yeah, which I'm surprised because I mean, you think GameStop, they got into the Pokemon game. You know, they're doing Pokemon cards now, which I think was a huge just cluster. I know they got into the card space, and then I don't think I've heard anything good about it.
Yeah,
but that was even sarcasm. But for those that didn't know it, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, look at a gross revenue of -7 score. Like that's pitiful.
Banging.
Yeah.
I wish I had more to. Here's the numbers. Although let's just touch base on it's not about the numbers, because there's always that crowd, because the cat is going to tweet or something like that. I don't know. I wish I had more. I don't know what the options premium are doing, but if you want to play the options game, I made a ton of money on GameStop, and I sold options to a lot of the gamblers, and it wasn't a bad time, but I didn't stick around. I'm jabbing at this like a boxer. I'm in and out. I was in this and then a little bit on the way down. Same with the second spike up. Then I don't think I really did much back here. Yeah, I know I didn't do anything on that one.
I mean, if you pull the one pager back up, you can see the expected annual income if you're just playing the wheel strategy. It's about 30-something%.
Yeah,
it's not terrible.
I still think you're taking on a lot more risk than you need to. There's a lot of other stocks I can make that on without, I would say, the real risk of just the bottom falling out on that. And I know some people are going to get real offended by that because if you talk to anybody about GameStop,
100%. Like you can use this to wheel and make some money. However, the risk of assignment of this dog doo-doo stock, forget it, man.
Yeah, it's not worth it, and that's why, like, even bringing the chart up, I'll wait until the hype actually gets there. I'm not late to the game. I'm fashionably late. I want everyone else to get there first, and then I'll jump in and mess around with some options. But I'm not going to just play that game and then one day the volatility shows up. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Now, you did say I would be surprised by one of these. And, if my math is correct, there's one left. I think we can. So you're saying I'm going to be surprised by AMC?
I wouldn't say. Well,
it's $2.99.
It's not. It's a surprise. Yes. Is it a great surprise? It's questionable.
What's funny is this is probably one of the last ones I really did like should we buy it? So I went down and valued it, and it was before the crazy pop, and I had bought December leaps.
Holy cow! Look at where it was.
Yeah, well, it split because I bought leaps right here in January, the day before it shot up, or 2 days before. I was like, you know what? I think it's worth a $20. It's a $20 stock to me. That's what I'm thinking. So I bought leaps, and then they just went nuts. And for everyone that is new, I'll never forget this because I was in Amazon and Tesla calls. Both of those are just bright red on the day. And so I'm opening the app thinking, what kind of number am I about to see? because I know it's going to be red. And I open my phone, green numbers. I'm up thousands. I'm like, something's not loading. So I reset the app. And I was like, something's not working. So, close it down, reset the app, open it back up, still green. I'm like, I'm double checking Amazon and Tesla. I'm like, how? I'm down a lot on these right now. And then I had no faith in AMC. And literally, that's what it had covered my position. Granted, Amazon was a $3,500 stock at that time. So each contract, $16,000. It's covering that loss and then some. I am up. I'm like, what is this? So I don't know. I have nothing but good memories of AMC. Granted, I do think their CEO likes to spit in everyone's face. They bought a gold miner, like they're just using that money to. They're just selling it every time it pops. They're like, we're gonna sell some more shares. How can we get that retail crowd excited? Because let's do it. Get them in here.
Let's take a look at the one pager.
Yes. No more opinions. That was just my story. We're at 298. Okay. Wall Street's target price 351. Percentage wise, that's not bad.
Yeah. Now, if you look at the numbers, projected growth rate is actually okay.
Yeah, the polar opposite of GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, this one, the numbers are I will say they're not great, but they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, so gross revenue is looking good. We got a lot of green over here. 2020 was bad. I mean, the economy shut down. You weren't allowed to do anything, and the movie theaters, they just weren't an essential business.
Right?
Is that the word they were using? Yeah, you had to be essential to be open.
Yeah, and you can see where that 2020 obviously red, right?
Yeah,
and then of course whenever they're negative, the year over year for the 2021 is obviously going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
now, it's still growing, but it's growing at a slower rate each year.
Yeah,
so it's positive, but it's not a good growth rate.
Yeah, how do you think about the movies in general, business wise?
There's little to no future in going to a theater. It's all going to be on YouTube or online.
Yeah, but I mean, I still go to the movie. I think the amount of theaters is going to trim down a lot. I think we're already seeing that, but it's still a destination location. Like you go there for the date. You don't go there just to watch. You go for the whole experience.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be struggling with going to the movies though. It's so expensive to go. Like if you're a family of 4, I mean that's like a $200 night.
Yeah, I would say it's not cheap, especially when you order $100 pretzel. Right. I really think mine. I think it was $100 pretzel, something ridiculous. So I was like, I'll take a pretzel and cheese. They're like, that one, and I was like, yeah, stupid. The pretzel, just give me the. And so what I didn't know was there was a huge pretzel, and that's what they were pointing at. And anyway, I didn't even notice it until I get the receipt. I'm like, that was a very expensive pretzel. Like, what is going on? And like, I'm about to go up there and ask them, like, what's up? And then they give me this pizza box. And
did they bring in the loan papers?
No, it was like the pretzel like this big around. It was just like loaves of bread. And so I had all the dipping sauces. And as I look at my friends, I guess we're all gonna eat this pretzel because I'm not eating this much. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it certainly doesn't help, but still, I think the experience is awesome. I think there's a way this could be something, especially with AI doing its thing. If things pan out the way we think they are in the AI realm, I think the business needs a complete overhaul. The amount of buildings they have open, I just think I don't think there's enough to support that.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It'll probably go back to. So when I was a kid, you went to the theater, and they might have had 3 showings of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 theaters in the center, and then during the 90s and early 2000s, it was these megaplexes where you had like 40 screens, and that I don't think is sustainable because there's just not enough people going to that. I think you'll see that going back down to maybe like a 1 or 2 or 3 screen cinema.
Yeah,
maybe a little higher end.
Yeah. Well, because when you think about it, the movies that do well are Marvel. Like not just Marvel, but I mean, like you put millions and millions into these movies, and hopefully AI, helps with that. But you just can't afford to launch a flop and there's a lot of movies out there that just don't do well. And
Yeah.
and honestly, if it doesn't get that hype from the preview, then I don't think it should go to the theaters. And if they could just dial that back, then I think there is something. Whether it's fewer buildings and they still have 40 screens, or keep the buildings but dial the size back. You need to the supply and demand. We're just tilted too much to the scales. Just my opinion goes.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
if we can use if the studios can use AI to actually reduce the production costs, because about half of what a movie cost is actually the advertising.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, with that, and I think I don't know if this is the reason to be buying AMC, because
no.
if I'm buying AMC, it would be because I'm actually not opposed to it, not for any reason anyone else is. My stop loss would be zero. The company goes bankrupt or I make money. Like that's it. I lose all my shares or it does something. But it would be I'm going to hold this bare minimum for the next 10 years. So I think AI is going to just suck the life and jobs out of everything. I think things are going to suck. We're going to go through that period. And maybe that'd be a better time to buy anyway. But after that, I do think entertainment. Just think if everybody loses their jobs, robots doing everything, AI is doing everything, we're not going to sit around the house and do nothing. So I think entertainment will end up being huge. And they might have a good space for that. We'll see. That so much is going to change in 10 years. I'm trying to find the whole case. I'm trying to argue this.
That's okay. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, right? Like,
Mhm.
is it growing right now? No. Are the numbers from a profitable standpoint? It's trending in the right direction on some of those numbers.
Yeah, so we'll bring the bottom up because that's what everyone's worried about. Can we run the wheel on this? You make about 10%. So, better off putting your money in the S&P.
Yeah.
Fair market value. Analyst price target 351. Our numbers 944.
Yeah. That was interesting when it came back with that.
Yeah.
That's why I said you'd be surprised, because I was like, wait a minute. It's got an upside of like 300%.
Yeah. I think we have to check a lot of boxes for that to happen. The current economy, the macro environment, without it hitting to hit that number without any hype behind it, any kind of short squeeze or anything like that, I think we'd probably be hard pressed right now. But it's crazy that the numbers are even line up. Your operating income's going down. I want to see this just absolutely tank because I do think an Optimus bot or Figure 3 could handle the snacks behind it. It wouldn't be hard to get a robot to put some popcorn in a bag. Those guys are slower than dirt anyway. Optimus at its current speed could beat anyone working at a theater that I've ever seen. So I'm all for it. And then we just take that thing down to nothing.
What's your verdict on either of these?
Why are we even talking about it? I mean, that's my real verdict. I wasn't a fan of really breaking these down, to be honest. I don't like wasting my time. I thought it was interesting. I am not surprised at all on GameStop, not even in the slightest. I do think it's going to be the next blockbuster. It's cool that they're trying to change things, and maybe they can turn things around. But I'm not in the business of just buying hopes and dreams. Until I see something actionable that I can put to a clipboard. I argue this a lot with Tesla, because people buy Tesla for the pipeline. And I'll even accept that if GameStop were to say, hey, we got this in the line. But I've seen nothing from them to make me think, I can't wait to buy that. I just can't wait to not talk about it, is more my GameStop theory. I was a little more surprised to see the AMC numbers.
Yeah.
Nothing I would do. I mean, if the options premium was there, I could probably dabble in it. But the liquidity doesn't really come until all of Wall Street bets, and then the nerds are back talking about it. And I can't even say nerds, just the gamblers.
Yeah.
So there's just not when that hype ever does come in, I don't need to run a chat to hear it. Everyone's talking about it. So I can just not ever think about it and let the public tell me when it's time to jump in and trade some options. Because even my 10-year argument, I got the next 7 years to probably make that decision to buy it, probably even cheaper. Because let's say I'm right. In 10 years, industry's huge. Entertainment's amazing. AI's making videos. They kept the 40 screens because every night is a new movie. Still, the what could happen in the next 7 years, if that's the 10-year goal, that's the very end. The nightmare ahead of us and what they would have to survive through, I wouldn't put any money towards it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it. If you agreed with my If you like these numbers, you like everything about it, I would still wait. I would say you got time, wait. I would rather have my money in a CD. And if you've ever watched me at all, those are stupid. So,
yeah, I would give these a big no as well.
Yeah. To speak to the traders out there, this is fundamental stuff. This has nothing to do with a MOAS that I'm sure is going to come. Like I've had these conversations too much. And I usually have to disclaimer the video a lot because their feelings get hurt pretty easily. But they also had price targets of 100,000, and it never even hit $100. Like we never hit the first baby step of 3 digits, let alone 6. So to the traders out there, thanks. Love your opinion. I've heard them all. It's awesome. I hope you make $1 million. I really hope AMC goes to 100,000, because if it does, I'll probably buy it somewhere in the $60 price range and join you guys. But I got time.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that's how thrilled I am about making this video. We said we'd do it if it's in the comments, so we will. And so there's the numbers. You can hate my opinion, and like we talk about, I've disclaimed this enough. These numbers are real. These are, you can go to their investor relations page, and you'll see all the same stuff. You can't argue this.
Yeah.
The only thing we can talk to, we're blue in the face of all of our opinions. So that doesn't matter. We're just gonna give our opinion. But if you like what you see, ultimately it's your decision. You're the one clicking buttons. I'm over here just talking about buttons you could potentially hit. That's all. But yeah, I'm good on anyone's opinion on this, unless they want to tell me what cool Pokemon card they got from GameStop. Like, I have no interest in the stock. I don't care about the MOAS that I'm sure is going to happen next week. Someone's going to tell me that, because it's always next week, but they kick the can down the road. I really think most of these people should probably explore a career in politics, because they are better than any politician I've ever seen in my life with kicking that can down the road. I don't mean to sound so burnt out, but that's how many times I've had these conversations with GameStop and AMC, and having to genuinely try to help people out, and they come back with the dumbest stuff. And sorry.
Yeah. These just do not pass the sniff test.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to wheel something, it's got to get past the first initial hurdle of, is this a good stock? And right now, no.
Yeah, because if I'm selling puts, I assume at some point I'm going to get assigned, and I don't want to be assigned garbage. Like, who wants that? Like,
exactly.
No, I'm not lifting that. Like, no, get that out of here. Like, no one wants to even be around that. I'm selling currently 220 puts on Tesla. I'm 2 weeks in a row. That's going to be 100%. I'll let them expire, and I'll let them assign me the shares if it gets that low, and I don't mind holding it. We know your opinion on Tesla. I don't care. I'll get the shares. I do think it's going to get lower, but I'm fine with owning. I would not want to own this long. Like, if I found out I got assigned, I would be calling and seeing, is there a way I can get, does anyone want these on a Sunday? Because you got an extra premium. Because I don't want to see this in my account on Monday. Like, that's where I'm at on that one. I gotta appreciate if we just don't have to. I don't want to wake up Monday morning. It's already Monday, and then I have to see this in my account. Like, that's not a good way to start the week. Like, what was I thinking? I've done that before, because the people in my group will be in AMC or something, and I'm like, all right, you talked me into it, and it's because I'm bored. There's not a trade in a zone right now, and I take a stupid trade. I know it's stupid, and then it fills, and it finally hits me. Like, what were you thinking? I'm in it the next day, and since I'm not in it, it genuinely surprises me the next day when I look at my app and I see, I'm in this thing. Like, now I gotta manage this thing. Get green or red. I'm like, I just don't want to look at it.
and then you're in it for 3 weeks in a row until you can finally get out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Not worth it. Like I said, it's got to pass the sniff test. And these sheets that we're doing, like we talked about before, gross revenue, all that stuff, those are all important for their own reasons. But again, at the same time, you have to like it. I need to see a green report card. That is the reason I'll even have a conversation of, do I want to buy it? Yes or no. If it's just blatantly, it looks like GameStop, it's a no. I mean, we're looking at the resume, no high school diploma. Moving on to the next one. Like, you couldn't even get your good enough diploma. Like, that's next.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then, what I'll do is I'll look at the resumes, like the good stocks. has a degree. Okay, like one might be in theater, absolutely pointless, but people still get hired for that because they have a degree. Like it's still like the conversation piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't have any of it. So
well, next week, so we pushed off Lockheed Martin. So I'll be doing Lockheed Martin next week, and I'll probably throw in a couple of other defense contractors in there and kind of do battle stocks and see which one comes up on top.
Yeah, that might not be bad. And we told everyone we would do one stock a week, but then people started commenting, and the idea was to make these videos 8 minutes after all the edits and everything, 8 minutes long, right? 8 to 10 minutes. And I wonder if we could probably squeeze in 2.
Yeah,
we didn't need to talk this long about these 2 for sure.
So I thought about it, and I think comparing a couple of stocks actually shows why the one pagers are actually good, because you could that way you have all the green report card in front of you. But how does that compare to something else? Like,
right.
That's the fourth question that we're trying to answer, right? 1 is this a good stock? 2, is it at a good price? 3, can I make money off of it? And 4, how does it compare to other ones on the first 3 questions? So
okay, yeah. If it sucks, why does it suck, and which one is better?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So if you've commented on any of the previous ones, I think we might start knocking these out a couple at a time. Yeah, for a comparison, but. I mean, it's a clipboard. If honestly we were just going to come up here and read it to you, we could just send you a screenshot, and and we could make them shorts.
Yeah.
If you guys like it, then do the things. Hit the subscribe button. I know a lot of people, they have the bell turned on, they're not getting notified. YouTube notifies you based on their algorithm, not what you say you like, but what they say you like. Yeah. So hopefully with some luck, you'll eventually get the notifications. But just know these are going to come out on Fridays. If you have commented before, I'm sure we'll try to put them in the thumbnails. But just in case, you might want to check it out, because we start knocking two, maybe even 3, depending on. We probably could have. This is already too long. We could have done another stop on this one. But let's wrap it up here. I need to know who the loyal people are. You let me know. Get your thumbs working. You're not going to get carpal tunnel. Let me know right now if you made it to the end, and you get priority. I'm just going to say that now. Anything else you want to add?
If you like what you're seeing and you like the one pagers, you can always get those on our Patreon.
Oh, you forget that every time. Yeah. So tier 2, tier 1 is just the growth count. Tier 2 is where you get Mike going live. You can request the one pagers at any time.
Yep.
So you get to harass them every day. So if you
and I get harassed because of my position on Tesla.
If you want to join just to harass them, I'm all for it. So you don't get banned for harassing Mike about Tesla.
No,
I encourage it. So
you can call my name.
All right, we'll end it here. I had more fun talking at the end than I did about these stocks. All right, we'll wrap it up. Do all the things, like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.
See ya.